What's good, guys? Fancy Joe back here with my Week 11 waiver wire video. Today it's waiver wire video, pretty basic breakdown. Gonna be going over, but make sure you hit that subscribe button before the video is through. Post weekly rankings, buy lows, sell highs, all the information you need to beat your friends and family in fantasy football. Bring home that championship. If that's something that's important to you, then hit that subscribe button and we'll bring that championship home for you this year. But let's talk some of our top ads. So at quarterback, I will say if Justin Herbert's still out there in your leagues, I added him in a league. I have Joe Burrow. That's just how good I think Justin Herbert is, though. He's worth owning. Definitely go out there and grab him. He's still owned in less than 50% of leagues. To me, that's crazy the way he's been playing lately. But make sure he's owned in every league. Another guy that I would throw out there, Bo Nix, should be owned in every league. But yeah, I think outside of those guys, waiver wire is a little devoid the quarterback position this week. You can try streaming these guys, but I don't think any of them will be much more than that moving forward, really. Moving on to the running back position, I think Audric Estime is the top ad right now. He had 14 carries for 53 yards this last week. He's looking like he's going to take over for Javonte Williams on this team, so I do think you can add him, play him. Another name I'd throw out there, Gus Edwards. He looks like the backup now for the Chargers, so you can add him. I used to own Kamani by Dow in some leagues. Probably moving on from him, adding Edwards. Braylon Allen, another cuff that should be owned if anything happens to Breece Hall. He'd be extremely valuable for fantasy football. Cam Akers, if anything happens to Aaron Jones, he would be the next guy up, so another name to keep an eye on. Aaron Jones left this week with an injury, but he returned, so he's supposed to be okay. At the wide receiver position, let me just go over some names. I will say Tajay Spears, a running back as well, another name that should be owned. Jalen Warren, if he's out in your league, he's definitely should be owned. Najee could miss some time. He'd get a ton of work moving forward. So those are just some basic guys. I would say on the wide receiver position, make sure Ricky Persall is owned in your leagues. Quintin Johnston. After that, I would say probably like a Demario Douglas. Even Mike Williams, I think, is worth owning if he's out there available in your leagues. Could we develop a connection with Russell Wilson? I'd throw out Demario Douglas and Jalen Coker, two names I'd be willing to take a shot on as well at the wide receiver position. Not a ton of these guys are out there. I would pass on an MVS for this week. Did a lot of his production, just some massive targets, which, that's kind of a tough way to make your living off of just a few high valuable targets. And then moving on to the tight end position, though, JuJu Smith, if he's out there in your leagues, I think is worthy of adding. Taysom Hill is addable for sure. Will Disley, I think, as well. He's got a good matchup this week against Cincinnati, 29th versus tight ends. He's been getting targets every week, so I think you can play him for sure. But let's see. Gesicki, JuJu Smith's another name out there. Mike Gesicki, if any of those guys are out there, I think you can play them. Moving on to the defenses, I do think the Miami defense is the top ad for this week. Lions defense is a good ad as well against Jacksonville with Mac Jones. Do you think they're going to struggle? I think you can do worse than the Packers, although I will go Lions and Dolphins over both of those other teams. Just while we're talking about it, the running back position, Marshawn Lloyd, I think is another name to add. I think he's probably going to be the cuff moving forward for Josh Jacobs. He's going to get back healthy soon. And then, like I said, if anything happens to Josh Jacobs, I think Marshawn Lloyd would be the most valuable running back on that team for fantasy. But yeah, make sure Tajay Spears is owned out there. Make sure Ricky Persall, Quintin Johnston's are owned. Justin Herbert's, Bo Nix's. I feel like this week it's mainly just checking and making sure these guys aren't out there, because if they are, they should basically be owned in just about every league, but not a ton of guys that are super valuable now because of injuries or their situations have changed dramatically outside of Audric Estime, who should be the starter moving forward for that Denver Broncos team. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond to every comment. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys